All right, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the mini Community Pharmacy More Profit Roundtable. My name is Breck Rice. I will be your host today, and thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to be with us. Let me. We're going live today on a couple of social media platforms, so hopefully everybody can hear me okay. And I've got some amazing information to share with you, and also some uh, uh, video demos that we'll share with you as well. So, like I said, my name is Breck Rice. I've been helping community pharmacies now for over 20 years. I love the industry. I'll do everything I can to help them be successful, and that's the reason why we do this More Profit Roundtable. Now, this is the mini version. There is a full hour-long roundtable that where we introduce a bunch of amazing products like BioLite is one that we've launched on that program. BioLite is the only clinical grade hydration drink in the marketplace. Breath Rocks is another fun one that everybody is interested in. Breath Rocks is a functional breath mint. Um, Other products like My Shield and others that we talk about on the full hour long. On the weekly mini roundtable, which we're doing today, we focus in on the clinical solutions that are available to community pharmacies to participate in. And so, pretty excited to share some of those clinical opportunities that can bring thousands of dollars to community pharmacies. So, I do podcasting beyond just the PBM reform is one of those. So beyond doing the More Profit Roundtable, I host the PBM Reform podcast on the Pharmacy Podcast Network. Try to make any positive changes we can there in helping community pharmacies um, get more fair reimbursements. My own company, ServeRx, is all about bypassing the PBMs to bring more profitability to community pharmacies. And then, of course, the More Profit Roundtable that we're on today. And a title sponsor is RX1 Shop. They do all of the shopping, find all the great deals so that you can save at your community pharmacy. So, if you're not using RX1 Shop, I encourage you to get connected with them. So, there's some great deals there. One of the most recent is the G7 continuous glucose monitor that retails for almost $300. I think they have it for 118 or something like that. It's the lowest I've seen that device from Dexcom. So I've been a firm believer that community pharmacies should have 1/3 of their um, revenue should come from non-dispensing. If you have all your eggs in that dispensing basket, community pharmacies know that PBMs don't pay them enough to get the reimbursement that they used to get, and so 1/3 of your revenue should be non-dispensing revenue. And so that's the reason why we do this program. Everything I talk about on the Community Pharmacy More Profit Roundtable is helping to bypass the PBMs to make and keep more profit, including my own program, which is the ServeRx program. And I'll share that with you just in brief. You know, this bypasses the PBMs. We are able to reimburse you triple or quadruple what the PBMs would pay you for the same medications, and it's just simply using our bin and PCN to get those higher reimbursements. So we are a value-added service for all the PSAOs, so all the pharmacy service organizations nationwide use us as their preferred program to help community pharmacies get the fair reimbursements you deserve. So if you're not using us, we invite you to use the ServeRx program. Again, everything that I talk about on the Community Pharmacy Roundtable bypasses the PBMs to bring more profit to your pharmacy. So, wanted to outline the 3 steps to doing clinical at your pharmacy the right way. There's more wrong ways to do this than right ways, and so the I wanted to outline that for you here. And the 3 steps are starting with step 1 is the remote therapeutic monitoring program. I'm going to get more into the details of that, but this is an amazing opportunity for community pharmacies to help their patients, especially their senior, patients, 65 and older, in a way that you've never been able to help them before. And then step two is a full addition to those remote therapeutic monitoring. You can do all kinds of additional medical billing and other clinical services and get compensated properly for that by doing medical billing. That program is called IPPN, or the Independent Pharmacy Provider Network. And then step three is a full brick and mortar clinic inside of your pharmacy. You own it. It is your pharmacy. You even name it, whatever you want to name it, but it's managed and even staffed for you by Brim Wellness. So I'm going to spend the next few minutes really diving into what the remote therapeutic monitoring program is, because that's the lowest hanging fruit for you with no startup costs. Obviously, building out a full brick and mortar clinical room is going to have some cost to it. So let's start with step one, where there's absolutely no cost to the pharmacy, but an opportunity for you to not only help your patients, but also get compensated for that. Now, you can do step one and never take step two or step three. That's entirely up to you. You just can't do step three without step two. So, step two is kind of the prerequisite for doing the full brick and mortar clinic. So moving on, let's talk about what this RTM program is all about. So when you go back to the first CPT codes that were covered by Medicare or CMS, the first one was chronic care management. And that came onto the scene in 2014, 2015 area. It was really focused on the providers, the doctors, primary care providers, being able to check in with their patients in between appointments, patients that had, chronic issues. Then a few years later, in 2019, the remote physiological monitoring was approved, and that is again focused on providers offering that to their patients as check-ins. So the RPM or remote physiological monitoring, I always called it remote patient monitoring, usually has a device where they can check their blood pressure, even their BMI on getting on a scale, blood glucose, etc. So those usually have connected devices, and again, was really focused on the provider, the doctor, checking in with their patient in between appointments. Then the new kid on the block is this remote therapeutic monitoring, or RTM. And RTM, for the first time, is a CPT code covered by Medicare that doesn't require the sign off of their primary care provider. So no PCP is needed in order to run this program. So the first time ever that a program can be offered through community pharmacies in this remote care space. And as I mentioned before, the beautiful thing about RTM is there are no startup costs whatsoever for the community pharmacy. So you can get started in helping your patients without having any costs to the pharmacy to do this program. So if you look at the conditions that are covered under remote therapeutic monitoring, mainly focusing on musculoskeletal disorders, but also respiratory issues, and then some medication management. More than just the MTM, in getting into the medication management, and a very comprehensive program. The symptoms that are covered are pretty broad. You can see here in the middle, it's pain, stiffness, weakness, swelling, limited range of motion, numbness, tingling, lack of balance. So these are pretty broad symptoms. I'm not quite a senior myself, but I would qualify because I have pain and stiffness occasionally. So it's pretty easy to qualify your patients on this program. And then the improved outcomes are addressing the two top concerns that every senior has. Does a lot more than that, but the two concerns that everyone is worried about is loss of memory, and then loss of balance. And that loss of balance issue is a big cost to Medicare, and that's why they're really promoting and pushing out this program to more providers. As you can see from this next slide here, you have still the leading cause of injury-related deaths in seniors is falls, and they're already spending over $50 billion a year addressing falls in seniors, and they anticipate that that's going to increase to or double, over 100 billion with a B in the next 5 years or so. So we know that cognitive impairment is a leading cause to falls too. In fact, patients with dementia are having a 300% more falls than patients without dementia. So that's something that's really concerning as well. And if you look here at this next slide, you can see that 2/3 of seniors in their 70s, 80s are experiencing some kind of cognitive decline. And now, about every minute, someone is diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. The remote therapeutic monitoring program is already showing some tremendous benefits for seniors. In fact, they show here that dementia is delayed or even prevented when patients are involved in a remote therapeutic monitoring program. One of my favorite statistics isn't shown up here, but if a senior is doing a RTM program, they're 75% less likely to contract dementia, which is incredible. So I want to introduce to you a turnkey platform that is doing, Remote Care Today is the company that is offering this Brain Health Plus platform, very comprehensive, and you'll see from this 2-minute demo just how comprehensive it is and how many things that it offers. So let me share this with you, and it'll explain the program better than I can.
As an independent pharmacist, you already know your patients count on you. And with reimbursement challenges and tight margins, finding new revenue streams that actually help your patients is more important than ever. That's why we're happy to introduce you to Brain Health Plus, a remote therapeutic monitoring program, RTM, covered by Medicare Part B and most Medicare Advantage plans, designed to improve memory, balance, and cognitive function in just 5 to 10 minutes a day. It does this with fun exercises and games that stimulate the brain, increasing neuroplasticity. Your patients can access Brain Health Plus from their smartphone, tablet, or computer. It's a one-of-a-kind RTM platform that offers engaging, fun, and clinically proven activities to improve cognitive health, prevent falls, and helps your senior patients stay independent longer. We're talking about daily brain games, interactive motion sensing exercises, motivational health content, medication management tools like being able to scan your medicines right into the system, reminders of when to take medicines, potential drug to drug interactions, and even geofencing alerts so loved ones are notified if a patient visits the ER or hospital. Every patient also gets a 30-second biometric facial scan they can do at home so they can scan their face and track their health as often as they wish. This amazing technology lets them track important health vitals like blood pressure, heart rate, and oxygen levels with 96% accuracy. Done with a smartphone or even a computer, it keeps patients motivated and engaged without replacing their medical care. And here's the best part, we do it all for you. You get a fully turnkey solution: flyers, posters, bag stuffers, and patient onboarding handled entirely by us. We even do all the Medicare billing. No added staff time, no upfront cost. In fact, no cost to you ever. Just real results for your patients, such as a clinically proven decrease in falls and better memory. And you can earn administrative service fees for simply reviewing monthly patient progress reports for each participating patient, which will significantly add additional profits to your bottom line. Brain Health Plus, easy for you, powerful for your patients, and great for your pharmacy.
So as you can see, it's a very comprehensive program platform. So many tools and benefits in there, and it is again covered by Medicare Part B. You don't need to worry about it if you're not in network with Part B. Most pharmacies are not. Most pharmacies are just the Part D side of Medicare. But you don't need to worry about that because Remote Care Today and their providers are all providers for Medicare Part B nationwide in every state. So this works in every state in the United States. And also, most Advantage plans are covering it as well. I want to share this quick little testimonial from Paul because he's 89 years old and he admits that he hates to exercise, but he'll do this program, which is exercising. So it's kind of fun, but this is just one of the tools on the Brain Health Plus platform.
My name is Paul Charney. I live in Tucson, Arizona. I just turned 89 years old, and I hate to exercise. When I had the opportunity to try Ludafit, I found it fun. I enjoy it. I enjoy it because it's a game, and psychologically, I know that it's benefited me. You move, and the avatar, that is a figure that represents you on the screen, it moves along with you. And it's fun. You hear the shushing of the skis through the snow, and you see obstacles in front of you. You try to avoid the obstacles. And my very favorite, even though it's probably the most strenuous, is the Thai rock climb. What you're doing is climbing up a mountain path, and not only are you sidestepping, but along the path there are rope ladders. And in order to climb a ladder, you reach your arms up and you just keep moving. My kids saw me exercising, and they wanted to try it, and they were laughing, and it comes with a lot of giggles anyway. Initially, when I first started it, I had to hold on to a chair. But I found that repeatedly doing the exercise, I got confidence in letting go of the chair. So right now I do it freestanding. Bottom line, I'm sold on it.
So again, I love Paul's testimonial because he talks about not liking to exercise, but he'll do that program. But what I really love about it is that he has proving that you can reverse muscle atrophy. When he first started it, he had to hold on to a chair for balance, but now he doesn't need to even do that anymore. Now, Remote Care Today has made this turnkey for any community pharmacy to offer this to their senior, patients, and so they'll even provide you with the marketing materials, their patient education. They're printing the information right on the prescription bag. None of this is going to cost you a dime. This is all provided for you, and isn't any additional extra cost to you. They'll set up a landing page for you that you just simply direct your patients to the landing page. It's great if you will do a little welcome video on there so that they can see a familiar face and you welcome them to the landing page. And then what you will do is once a month after a patient has completed their month exercises, you'll go in and do a review. And this 30-second video here shows you what you do as a review. And this is how you are paid your administrative service fee.
Working with our program is easy for you and your staff. If you choose to review your patient's monthly progress and earn administrative services fees, you will be sent a weekly email notification reminding you to log into your portal and review patient assessments. You or an appropriate member of your staff will review these reports, review the summary data for the patient, add your notes, and then simply click the sign-off box next to the record. It's that easy, and it's that fast.
So again, this is kind of a checks and balances opportunity for you to check on the progress of each patient, and for doing that, you get an administrative service fee. Here on the right hand side, you'll see that 100 patients on the program. It's a $25 PMPM, so per patient per month. So that should take you less than 2 hours. It's about a minute per review. So less than 2 hours to do the, 100 patient reviews, and so not a bad return on your time investment. So you review the agreement and schedule onboarding call, and then you can let Remote Care Today do all of the heavy lifting for you and helping with the patient outreach and patient engagement. Then Remote Care Today, they create that landing page for you, put together all the educational materials, etc. So then they provide the coaches for each patient on the program. So that is, excuse me, step one in the clinical setup. Step two was the IPPN program. Just going to touch on this because this is a complete additional demonstration if you are interested in learning more about IPPN. I will share just that these four pillars right here are the pillars to success. And these are also the same pillars for failure if not done right. I can assure you that there are more wrong ways to do this than right ways. And so I want to help outline the correct way to do this. When IPPN, when they came about, it was to fill care gaps that were missing there in services. Pharmacies can fill those care gaps for providers, for doctors that don't have time to get to those gaps. And so it's really a win-win-win. The patients win because they have easier, faster access to care by going to a community pharmacy than waiting to get seen by a doctor. It could take them a couple of weeks or a month to get in to see their primary care provider. Well, so much easier, faster access. Well, the providers still win too in this model because they're still managing the care plans and getting compensated for that. So they win. And then those care gaps getting filled will actually now improve the quality measurement scores of doctors so that they get higher reimbursement. So that's a big win for the doctor. But the pharmacy wins the most in this win 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 because they are the place of service. So approximately 67% of all the bill charges will stay with the pharmacy. So things like doing an immunization, a flu shot, that you're only getting reimbursed maybe $17, $20, that turns that into an $80 preventative health visit. Some of the lower hanging fruit too are like continuous glucose monitoring. A CGM program represents about 2,500. It's actually 2,595 per patient per year. So if you had 100, patients on a CGM program, that's over 250,000 in additional revenue for the community pharmacy. So a really tremendous opportunity with the independent pharmacy provider network. But as I mentioned, that's a separate demo. But I'll leave a link in the show notes if you want to get a full demo from IPPN. The step three is the full brick and mortar clinical room that is by Brim Wellness, and Brim again is the managed service. So their three-legged stool is simply this: the first leg of the stool is the managing or the build out of your clinic, and then the managed services for your clinic. Step two, or the second leg of the stool, is the talent exchange. So imagine it's a little bit like Uber, but for medical staff. So no need to have a nurse there every day of the week until you need a nurse. Or if you're going to be doing lab services, no need to have a phlebotomist there until you need the phlebotomist. So you just post the shift, and then a medical provider fills that shift for you. And then the third leg of the stool is what I'm most excited about. That's the financial vehicle. Not only does that help you build out your clinic, bring in all the equipment that's needed, but now you become a cooperative member of the pharmacy fund. So you're helping the next community pharmacy set up their clinic, and then you're earning interest on that money that's in the fund. So someday you're going to hand your pharmacy down to the next generation of community pharmacists. This pharmacy fund can be a part of your retirement in the future. So that is our roundtable for today. Love sharing with community pharmacies how they can get involved in clinical services with these 3 steps here. Step 1 being remote therapeutic monitoring, or the Brain Health Plus program, brought to you by Remote Care Today, their turnkey solution. If you want additional information on IPPN, the Independent Pharmacy Provider Network, or BRIM Wellness, we'll provide a link in the show notes for you to get that scheduled so that you can get more information. Again, my name is Breck Rice. I have been helping community pharmacies for more than 20 years now. I absolutely love the industry, and I'll do everything I can to help you be successful. So, thank you for joining the Community Pharmacy Mini More Profit Roundtable. The full hour-long roundtable is every second Wednesday of the month at noon Eastern Time, and I will put a link in the show notes for anyone that wants to attend that. So, again, thank you so much for attending today and for watching the replay that will be on YouTube here shortly. But again, thank you for joining the Community Pharmacy Mini More Profit Roundtable.